So the first thing I did when I was doing my little pre-warm up for myself today was I squatted like this, which is an experiment because, you know, my little toe that broke, still deciding if that's okay or not, but thankfully it is. So I just kind of sat here and let the back of my ankles stretch and my knees, and then I think I plopped my heels down and widened my knees, and then I plopped on down to the floor. So when I'm sitting, I like to check out my squat and then make that part of my warm up. So let's just sit in a comfortable way and we'll transition into our practice. And also remember that whether you need to or not, sitting on a block is a good way to take any pressure off your knees or your ankles. And you just sit on the front edge of it. So you're not sitting on top of it like it's a chair. You want your pelvis to kind of fall forward, and that neutralizes your lumbar curve and really shifts your center of balance, so it's actually easier to sit. So from time to time, do that. And then the other good thing to do is take your other block. This is a different way to sit. And you stack them like that, long ways. I sit on mine like that. Some people might sit on them long ways front to back. I sit on mine long ways side to side. And then you climb on them and get where the corners don't poke your legs too bad. And then you can just fold your legs straight back. And for a lot of people, that is a good way to sit. So it's a big stretch in the front of the ankles back there, which is good for us, unless it doesn't feel good. So these are just things you have to figure out. The other thing you can do is sitting on 2 blocks, bring your legs forward. So I just think from time to time, you need to revisit things. It might not have been right for you at one point, but it might be perfect right now. So I just want to remind you of things you already know. And I'm just going to sit on 1 block today. There. So wiggle around till you feel situated. And then grow an inch from your hips up your spine, through your neck to the top of your head. Your attention in the back of your shoulder blades. And from your shoulder blades down towards your spine, towards your waistline, just think of dropping your back, your shoulder blades toward your spine, down your back and toward your spine. That's going to automatically lift your heart center. And if you're comfortable, close your eyes or have a soft gaze downward. Separate your teeth a little. That relaxes your lower jaw and your tongue. Think about smiling. Just start to notice how your body is breathing. Don't change anything yet. Now revisit your shoulder blades dropping down your back towards your spine. Your heart center lifting. Growing an inch from your hips through your spine to the top of your head. And then watch your body breathe. So our whole yoga practice is for the reason to create strength and flexibility in our body so we can sit like this and meditate. Now begin to notice how your ribs are expanding out towards your arms on the inhale. And what if you tried to take a bigger breath right now? Is your body ready? Are the muscles between your ribs ready to relax and taking a bigger breath, or do they feel constricted? These are things you notice. And if it feels like you've got a band around your ribs and they won't open up and let you take a deeper breath, then even at that level, you work inside your range of motion. So you just get to the end of your inhale and you have an easy pause. And that's creating space between your ribs. And then you let it go. And just like stretching down our hamstrings or any other stretch, if you'll stay on the inside of your range of motion, then those muscles start to let go and open up. So now notice your pauses at the end of your exhale and the end of your inhale. Notice by now if that busy mind has jumped in to distract you. And that's what the mind does. So we're developing a skill of coming back to the present moment. And yoga helps us use and develop the skill of observing the breath that is in the present moment. And then we use our yoga poses, and that puts us in the present moment. And all these things work together to build a skill to sit and meditate. Let's rub our hands together and cup our hands over our eyes. Bring your fingertips to the middle of your forehead. Sweep through your hair. Little finger under your eyebrows. You play around with this. Sweep through your face, your cheeks, your chin, your neck, your chest. And then do that again. Now, put your fingers behind your ears. Rub up and down. Then from behind your earlobe, pull down your neck. Do that a few times. So smoothing the lymph down toward the heart. I'm using all my whole hand now to just gently pull down. You could even stretch from your collarbone to your chin and pull your bottom teeth out and up. Now above your collarbone, start to tap. And below your collarbone to your chest. A pretty firm tap with the end of your fingers. You're just tapping your chest, moving the lymph that does not move on its own. It requires us to help it. Great job. Shake out your hands and let's stretch out our legs. So start to point and flex your feet. Pauses are important, so don't just mindlessly sling your feet around. You point and press, you flex and press, and feel the muscles that are working. Notice any popping or crunching. And then circle your feet. I say that we should oil our joints. So that means literally I use sesame oil. I order organic sesame oil online from Banyan Botanicals, reverse your circle. And I oil my joints, not every day, but all the time, good. Especially if one of them feels extra achy. And when I broke my toe, I used castor oil on the top of my foot, side of my foot, under my toe. And when I went back to the foot doctor, he said, well, you don't have any calcium deposits on your, where your bone repaired. And then right after that, I heard putting castor oil on your body helps excess calcium, which can show up in bone spurs or gout or even cataracts on your eyes or from calcium deposits. So for me, that was very timely information. It's like, I knew it was making it feel better, but it actually that was one of the actions the castor oil was doing. So stretch your fingers out and make a fist. And if you need to readjust your legs here to sit easier, then of course do that. So I do put castor oil on my eyelids, literally one drop will cover both eyelids. And I don't do that every night, but I do it all the time, but just not every night. And then circle. And then reverse your circle. If we did everything every day, all we do all day is sit around and do stuff like that, which would be a nice life, but okay. Now I have some new hand exercises. I'm gonna cross my legs again. So take your hands and make a claw and then stretch, claw, stretch. Now, I call this make a kiss. So you're gonna squeeze your thumbs into your four fingers and then stretch. And then make a fist with your thumb on the outside and open. Now put your thumb on the inside. Good. Now just open and close your thumbs. Good. And lace your fingers and roll your hands around. And and those were stretches for when you hold your phone too long and your hands get kind of stuck or they start to hurt, and then circle the other way. Good. A lot of times that hurts, my thumb hurts, but I think it's because I hold my phone, and then whatever I do, I don't know, but I think it's from holding my phone too long. Now I'd like us to lay down on our back. I'm gonna leave my feet off the floor, but you can put your feet down on the floor. So you can do both, but I feel like lifting my feet today. And then I'm just gonna start an easy side to side movement, spinal twist. We're gonna do this for a little bit here. So if this gets uncomfortable, then switch, either put your feet down or lift them up. So we're not trying to push our knees all the way down to the floor. We're just rocking across our lower back. Try to soften your stomach. Now leave your knees on one side. They're just barely off to the side. And use your breath. And if it's better for you, drop your feet down. Slowly bring your knees over to your other side. So you might leave them lifted 2 or 3 breaths and then drop your feet down and breathe 2 or 3 breaths. Stay there, but have a nice inhale and then a sigh of relief exhale. Now bring your knees back in the middle. Lift your feet, put your feet together, widen your knees, and do knee circles like this. Now reverse your circle. Now we're going to go the other way. So reverse your circle. But this time, can you stretch your legs out some? Your feet are together, your knees are open, and you're stretching your legs out some. Notice how your lower back is lifting, but you don't have to push it down on the floor, but try to kind of keep it pressing. Go the other way. Kind of keep it pressing toward the floor. If that bothers your back, don't stretch your legs out. You stay in a tighter circle. Good. Now just drop your feet down on the floor. Pause for a minute and breathe. Reset your body. And let's give one knee a hug. Stretch your other leg out. Now start off by relaxing here. Back of the shoulders, front of the chest. Deepen the front of the hip. Stretch out your straight leg. Relax the front of that hip. If you feel like pointing and flexing your feet again or moving your feet, then do that. Now with that same leg, drop that knee open a little bit. And then pick up your other knee and stretch out the one you were just holding. So start off relaxing. Bring that knee out to the side. But notice if at some point your body kind of clenches up to help you do that, and look for that and then relax it again. So a lot of times when we first move into a different stretch, our body like clenches up, but we want to try to let go of that. Now we're going to take turns with our legs. So now we want to focus on our spine, pressing into the floor. Keep switching. You might even lift your head. It's a great way to strengthen our neck muscles. You can only keep your head lifted for 1 second because it's 10 to 12 pounds hanging off the end of your neck. That's a good thing to do. Good. Now leave your knees bent, your feet off the floor, and lift your legs and bend your legs. Gently press your spine into your mat. But notice if you do that, do your shoulders round up and try to relax your shoulders while you press your spine down. Now put your feet down on the floor. Lift one leg up in the air, hold behind your thigh if you can, and gently pull that thigh into your stomach. Trying to get a hamstring stretch with our leg bent. Now push your leg straight up in the air and then pull it back down into your stomach. And if that bothers you, and either way, they're both good stretches, pull that knee out to the side so it's not exactly pushing into your stomach. And then push it up straight, pull it back down. We're getting into a hamstring stretch, we're getting into our hips. And then drop that leg down and pause. Move your knees side to side. Reset your body. Your knees in the middle, lift your other leg up. Hold behind your leg, start to pull it in towards your body. Push it straight up. Pull it in. A couple of times, pull it out to the side. Push it up. Move your knees side to side. This time, really let your knees flop over to the side. Your bottom leg might almost touch the floor all the way. And remember, the other thing to do here is put your block over there on the side to support your bottom leg. And then move side to side a couple of times. And now leave your knees in the middle. Press your spine down. Don't use your feet or your head or your arms or your shoulders. Release your spine and press. Breathe out when you press. Breathe in when you release. That will start easy bridge. So bring your arms down. This time, push with your feet, lift your hips, and come back down. So you can be rolling up your spine towards your shoulders, and then rolling back down. And you can add your arms when your hips are lifting. Bring your arms above your head. You lower your hips, bring your arms down. Now this time, keep your hips lifted. Put your hands, your thumbs on your waistline. Now see if you can lift one foot. I mean, just thinking about it, shifting your weight into that other foot, you can feel all those muscles working. You need to bring your feet closer together. Lower your spine. And give your knees a hug. And rock side to side. Roll over on your side. Pause there. Let's roll all the way over onto hands and knees. So on your hands and knees, stretch one leg back and turn your toes under and push back through your heel. And then lean forward into your toes. If this bothers your wrist, then drop down on your elbows. And knee down and switch. Drop that knee down. Now let's do our cat-cow. Pull your spine up. Pull your spine forward. And do that a couple of times. For a deeper stretch, when you look down, and pull your hips back. And then move forward, and if you want a deeper stretch, move your knees back. So when you pull your hips back, you get that good stretch through your upper back and shoulders. And you can pause there and breathe. And then when you're ready, move forward. You can either lower your hips and lift your chest for upward facing dog. And do that a few times. Remember, you want to squeeze your thighs and your glutes when you move forward. The other thing you can do is when you move forward, bend your arms a little, press down, and then push up and come back. So when you move forward, if you're bending your arms and if you just focus on your thighs and your glutes, you will be able to go down farther and feel stronger because you engaged your core. And then stay back the next time for child's pose. Now we'll come back up on our hands and knees. I'd like us to do a lunge. So you can bring your hands off the floor and bring your foot forward. And move your side and then put your hands down again. And then lean forward. And make sure that your knee is over your ankle. And look up. You're trying to flatten your upper back instead of have it curved. Pause here and breathe. Your hips back. You can lift your foot on your straight leg, your front leg. Now move forward and back a couple of times. Bring that leg back and switch your other leg up there. You might give that kneecap a rub on the leg that was just on the floor. So lean into your lunge. Be very careful here. Lift your chest forward. Move forward and back. Now, come back, but bring your foot back so it's just you're on your knee and your other foot is under your knee because we're going to stand up. So what I like to do is I put my hand on my knee, my other hand on the floor, turn my toes under, lift my knee, and then push off that foot and bring it up. That's my favorite way to stand up, and then stay in your forward bend. Then bend your legs and put your arms on your thighs and look up again. Now stand up, squeeze your thighs, breathe in, reach up. Close the pose. Wiggle out your body. Let's be in our mountain pose. Now, push through your feet, grow an inch. Bring your stomach in. Squeeze your thighs, your glutes. Don't lock your knees. So if that's a problem, bend your legs a little. And that'll keep you from locking, hyperextending your knee back. And then think about your shoulder blades coming down your spine toward your waistline. All the way. Breathe in, bring your arms up above your head, and breathe out and float down. And do that a couple of times. And the next time your arms come up, look up with your eyes, really stretch the front of your body, and then drop it down. Good, now leave your arms down. And we're gonna lift one leg, then the other leg. You can have your hands on your waistline, your hands up and out. Good, and then leave your feet down. And bring your arms up above your head. And then back down again. Give your back a pat. And stay in the middle. Now cross one arm across your chest, the other arm under, and give that straight arm a hug. And then drop it down and switch. Drop it down, shake out your arms. Let's do 2 minutes up, big stretch, look up. Open up for goddess pose, feet are at an angle. Push up, feet are straight. Side stretch. Your time, straddle, fold, bend your legs. So you can reach down evenly between both legs and then come back up. And then angle your feet again. Goddess pose. Feet straight. So something we might take for granted is being able to pivot your feet from straight to angle. Not everybody, but that's a real thing. That's a skill that we've been developing. So let's do that again, arms up. Side to side stretching. Goddess pose, feet at an angle, because you want your feet, your knees to line up in between your big toe and little toe. Feet forward, side to side bending. And then straddle fold. And you could lift that other arm. I lay my arm on my back now, but there was a time I used to lift my arm. And then angle your feet again. Push up, nice job. Feet together. Close a pose. Now let's use, if you have 1 pound weights, like a drink of water, and we'll do our warrior poses. So let's start with our warrior 1. I'll turn sideways. So remember, you don't have to have a big step back. We're working on having a bigger step back. But if that's not your day, your toes could be right at the back of your other foot. And you're evenly weighted in your feet and you get into the pose. So you just gotta listen to your body. Bend your front leg and set your foundation, set your balance, and bring your arms up. Drop your shoulders down your back toward your spine. And notice, what is the tendency of your front knee? Is it moving toward the outside edge of your foot? Is it falling into the inside edge of your foot? And know that your knee is lined up between your big toe and little toe. Push with your feet. And then lower your arms, step your feet together. Let's drop into a forward bend. Stand up again, breathe in, look up, that's your back bend, and then close the pose. Now we'll step the other foot back, bend your leg, float your arms up, body scan your pose. Do you feel strong today? Do you feel tired? This is a balancing pose. How's your balance? Lower your arms, step your feet together. We'll do another forward bend. And now stand up again. Breathe in, bring your arms up, look up. Close the pose. Good job. Turn to the long side of your mat. Let's do a little twist. We'll do our warrior poses. Warrior 2, reverse warrior, and extended side stretch. And here's an example of being able to pivot 1 foot around. And then bend into that leg, but don't lean into that leg. Bring your stomach towards your spine. I'm gonna have my palms facing forward. You can have them down or up. You're gonna get a different effect, however you situate your hands. Look past your front hand. Now lower your back arm, lift your front arm, reach in opposite directions. Reach your front arm forward. Drop it down. Bring your other arm up. So my bottom hand is pushing into the inside of my knee, creating resistance for my knee and supporting. So my hand's on the inside, it's not on top. But it's actively engaging my front leg. And then come back up and close a pose. You can either stay like this or bring your feet in, lift your knees, reset your hips, do a twist, you listen to your body. Or you can just pause here and reset your body. And then pivot around, bend your leg, float your arms up. I like to start off with my elbows a little bent because that helps me bring my shoulder blades toward my spine and down my back. And then I leave them like that, and I can stretch out my arms again. And then reverse warrior. And your arms are very active, reaching up with your top arm, lifting your ribs up out of your waistline, reaching down with your back arm, pushing evenly into your feet and legs. And now reaching forward. Big strength move here for your whole body. Breathe, open your top shoulders, your shoulder, roll your top ribs back. And then come back, close the pose, lift your knees, wiggle out your legs, do a little twist. And let's come back to the floor sitting. If you want to try squatting, you can do that. Be careful with yourself. So if you squat with your feet wider, I think it's a lot easier. And down, you have to be really careful not to fall back and bop your head. Let's point and flex our feet a couple of times. Circle your feet. Reverse your circle. Widen your legs. So you can just do something really easy that's not even a stretch, or if you're working on deepening that flexibility in your inner thighs, go ahead and play the edge here. And then circle around. You could leave your hands on your legs. You could reach your arms out. And then reverse your circle. And then stay in the middle. And let's bring our legs in again. Point your toes back, flex your feet. Slide your hands down, but keep looking up. And then slide back. So do you need to let your knees pop up to do this? Try not to let your shoulders hunch up around your neck. That means your upper back is rounding. So even here, you want those shoulder blades toward your spine and down your back. And then you come back up. Next time, stay down. Pulling your shoulders down, your chest forward. Good job, and then come back up. And we'll do a seated twist. So bend one leg. Keep that foot either on the inside or cross it over. Pivot your body toward that top leg. So make your alignment with your spine really straight. It's so easy here to drop your head forward and look back. But instead, go ahead and keep your head right over your shoulders, even if it feels like you're not twisting as far. Come to the front, leave that leg where it is, give it a hug and move forward and back. So a lot of what we're doing is pressing our stomach into our thighs inadvertently in our different poses and stretches. And so the good news is that's good for our digestion and elimination. Bad news is if you have tenderness in your stomach, that might bother you. So you have to play that edge very carefully. Now grab a hold of your toes on that leg that's crossed. Stretch it out and lay it down. Good. Decide what you're gonna do with your foot. And the other thing you can do is lean back when you twist and then sit up again. Some of us need to get that whole tummy turned around, and then you can have a deeper twist. On your straight leg foot, flex it back. If you could, if you had a mirror, you'd want to know that the top of your shoulders are level. Tendency is one shoulder goes higher than the other shoulder. Things to think about when that's called using your mind's eye. It's a deeper level of awareness that yoga helps us develop. Turn back to the front, give that leg a hug. And if you need to bring your leg below your knee, then that's fine, do that. A couple of times, move up and down. Now we're gonna lay down on our back again. So first pause with your feet on the floor. This is where you'll find achiness a lot of times, is right here when we go back to laying on our back. So give it a chance to simmer down and settle. Use your breath. Drop your arms out to the side. Make sure they're in between your shoulders and your hips, not up here above your shoulders. And then again, we'll do spinal twist. You'll be rolling your head the opposite direction of your legs. You can pause with your legs on the side. Breathe. Stay in the middle. And now we'll lift our legs up in the air. Now you could scoot your hands under your hips. Put your block under your hips. Put your legs over your bed, your chair, or on the wall. But now you're inverted. Notice how that feels. Some days you might feel pressure in your head, your neck, your ears. On those days, I would skip this and just drop your legs down. So bend your knees enough so that your legs will stay up there without much effort. You shouldn't feel straining in your back or your stomach. Now, drop your legs down unless you're going to keep them up for an extended amount of time. If we could all do that every day, we would have one happy body. So if you want to use this opportunity to leave your legs lifted, do that. Otherwise, just stretch out. Back of your body, settle in on your mat. Be supported by the earth. Have an easy breath in, and when you breathe out, let everything settle. Relax and let go. Let your mind roam around inside your body, looking for places that feel tight. Forgot to let go, and now that's its new normal. And as you focus on that place, have that nice, easy inhale and pause, and imagine you're creating space in that place that feels tight. And then exhale and let it go. If your mind gets busy, then give your breath to your mind, to your thoughts. When you have a thought, imagine you can create a bubble around it with your inhale, acknowledging it, honoring it. And with your exhale, just let it float on by. Every time you realize you have a thought, create a beautiful bubble around it with your inhale, and let it go. You can do that during your day in the middle of an activity. That's bringing your awareness back to the present moment. It's where everything settles, lets go. You have clarity. It may not be in that exact moment, but you'll know it. All of a sudden, you'll have this knowingness. So now start to deepen your breath again to bring your attention back. Some movement into your hands and feet. Gently bend up your legs and move your knees side to side. As you feel ready, roll over on your side. Pause on your side. And then gently walk yourself up to sitting. Bring this good energy with you into your day. Honor your practice, our time together as a group. Namaste. Turn off that recording.